Rightio, yeah, here's another lockdown project. It's second Friday of lockdown 5 here in Melbourne, Australia, and because I'm bored I've decided to make FrankenSluice, which is brother to FrankenPan, which is facing the wrong way. Actually, there it is, FrankenPan. There's another video about that already on the internet. So let's get back to FrankenSluice, which is an idea created out of boredom, but also an idea designed to work, of course. So in the hope that next Tuesday we get let out of lockdown and I can go up to Creswick and dig up some pay dirt and try the sluice in the river, in the creek I should say, Slatey's Creek. But let's get into a few of the details. Okay, here we have what was considered to be part of the structure, strengthening support of the little feeding panel, but in the end simplicity called for this. I think it's a lot easier, and as much as that one's kind of cool, I do like the baffle look about it. It would have had to go in here and hinge, and it might have just acted like a cantilever in the end, so it might not have been appropriate at all. Although this little right angle channel of plastic I've used, it does cut across the wire here, the wire mesh, so it does act as a support. But the way I've done it is we've got 3 holes so we can adjust the angle. Just look, yeah, you can see that. So if I pull up into the next hole, we've changed the angle a little. Sorry, I'm trying to do this, and alright, bear with me. Okay. Look, the mere fact that I can pull it up and show you means that, yeah, and then we put it into whichever hole we select to adjust the angles. So I reckon that's pretty cool. This is actually just a chopping board, really thin one, so I put 2 together and siliconed them. And I do like the way that because it's flexible, we can adjust the angle. I'll just get rid of this for a sec, and like I said, this little bit here hits there and there is a stopper, so it will always be level, but if you feel you need more angle, there is the opportunity. Now, give us a look. So what else do we have here? This in itself is actually just a storage container bought from Bunnings. Now if I come over here to the collection of junk that I often go to, this will give you an idea. Here's the end of it. So as you can see, that was there, cut out, now it's a channel. So that worked pretty well. It was only about $8.50. This mesh here, this thick stuff designed to create turbulence, that actually comes from what was already in the backyard, which is possibly off a trailer or a truck many years ago, and you put them on the sides to keep the cargo in. I think they've been here for years, but hey, they were there waiting to be used, so we did. So at this point in time we have chopping board. This the channel comes from FrankenPan, the part here that I didn't use in the FrankenPan, so that was pretty cool. So I had my right channel, had the chopping board, we had the trailer mesh. Now this black stuff here is actually a scourers from Bunnings, and yeah, they're pretty thick and pretty open, and they do remind me of miner's moss. So I figured, yeah, I could do something with those. And originally I did use the this level of thickness on it, but it was too much. But I was able to hacksaw it in half and yeah, go all the way along. And at the rear we have another scourer. It's Sabco is the brand from Bunnings. It's a tighter mesh, and that's your exit point. And at this point in time, yeah, the bolt here, we have a washer tucked over here to hold it in, and underneath we have a, hopefully you can see this where I'm going, just look, yeah, here we go, we have a wing nut. So with a bit of luck that'll turn while I've got the camera up above. The rear has another nut and bolt wing nut arrangement as well. As you can see, this bloody thing's messing me around, spinning around. I'll just put my finger on it. hang 5. Put my finger on it just to hold it tight while I undo the wing nut. And the idea is when you're ready, I've already undone the second wing nut on this one. The idea is when you're ready to check for gold, you undo each wing nut, you unclip the support from here, and this whole section pulls out. Oh yeah, also with this at the front here, I left a little bit out and I wound it round so you could actually put a tent peg in to hold it in place if the current's a bit strong. And there's one for each side, even a couple of spare pegs. I don't think it'll make any difference. I did have really big ones, but I figure this will be adequate. And they're pretty poxy aluminium ones. Every time I've hammered them in when I go camping they bend, so maybe I've found a use for them that might sit all right in a river. And if not, we've got something more substantial here. And on cue, here's the probably road traffic helicopter. It's a bit too early for the police. Okay, now let's have a look. So let's imagine we put some pay dirt through here, and if all goes to plan, yeah, it does. We lift off the front section, and I'll just put it down here, stand back and give you a better look at it. So there's the front section with the bigger mesh, the tent peg hanging down, and so then we now have FrankenSluice as just the channel and the scourer, and that's in 4 sections, of which I'm going to actually put 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dots, 4 dots of silicone, so I can put it exactly, when I take it apart I can put it back the exact same way. And underneath here I had a little bit of wire mesh from flywire screen. Just look, yeah, you can see that now. So I'll put that underneath just in case anything goes down here to stop it sliding out the back. So let's take away a few more pieces here and let's see what's going on at the rear. And there's the neighbour's dog barking like an arsehole. It's been doing it all day. So yeah, so there you go. We've got the flywire mesh to grab anything that might escape here. And then as we get to the rear, we've got it on an angle like a bit of a windscreen shield. I'm trying to think of the right word, but anyway, we'll call it a deflector shield. And it's really porous, this, so there won't be much resistance. So, and that fits in just nicely, but at the end of this, you may be able to see, yeah, this little channel, see how the hooks kind of come down to grab it, hold it in place. So that works out well. And then, if we go right along to the rear, we have a catching section, like a little catch-all. So as any heavies travel down this way, it enters into the catch-all. And then we have holes there to help the fluid escape the rear. And I'll just show you here. Give us a look. So I'll hold that up. So that's the profile I was using. I think you can see that pretty good. That's the profile I was using, but this was a little bit too high and was going to create too much drag. So what we did was, we did a modification and we took it off at the end there, so now it's not as tall at the back. So I'll put these two together and hopefully you'll get a good idea. Bear with me. So yeah, as I said, this one here, it's got more of a drag situation at the back, whereas here we've got plenty of holes, although this is a channel facing back towards the front, so if anything goes into it, it's not going anywhere. We do have some holes here to allow for flow. We have some holes across the back, and when this is in place, it will flow through out there, and this will hopefully also catch any gold. We've got a few little dollops of silicone along here just to create a gap for the gold to go into the back, and I think that's pretty much all that I need to explain. Yeah, and also at the front here there's a little lip of silicone to go under here. When this is attached, there is a gap. Just look, just where my thumb is, there is a gap at the front, so we've done a little run of silicone there just so nothing goes underneath and pushes further stuff along. We want it travelling over the top, going over the scourers, up to the back into the catch-all, or to be caught in the mesh, or possibly up under here. And as I stated, the water will come out over there. So yeah, project probably number 5 of lockdown number 5, FrankenSluice. Be wary, you'll see it at a creek near you. Alright.